Yes, I am. So I know I supposed I went live, but I didn't. But I'm going live right now, and right after this, I'm going live again. Maybe like 10 minutes after, maybe 20 minutes after, I'm gonna do the other live so I can complete this. Okay, I've been saying and I've been talking about in most of my videos the mental health crisis that's going on in our communities, in our societies, and everything that's going on that we see in all around the world. The homelessness is out of control, jobless, hunger, everything is just out of control. It's out of control. It's out of hand, right? But right now we're talking about basically this mental illness that was procreated upon the people, and I've been saying this. I've been saying this. It has been a big campaign to procreate all of these illness, these mental illness, and I'm going to show you a video basically confirming what the government's saying. But you already knew this though. You already knew that basically that this procreation of illness of the mental was already in the works, basically, right? So now, being that it's getting out of hand, right? What's up? How you doing, Davis? Being that it's getting out of hand and it's costing the country a lot of money. So now you got a certain amount of people on this mental illness and on these drugs, basically to promote these drugs to basically to control the depression and traumas and all of these mental illness that's going on. Right now, you want to stop this. Now you want to reverse it. Now you want, basically now you want to fund institutions where that you can help these individuals out. Being that now you got enough numbers of people that have mental illness and that's out there in the street that's wreaking havoc and killing and murdering themselves and others, and they can't understand this, coming from a point of view in our society community. And this is why a lot of this stuff is going on because it was procreated. It was procreated for population control. This is the actual true fact. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a video. And this thing is really, really important for me to talk about. And I've been talking about this mental illness, mental illness, mental illness. And mental illness has progresses over the year. It progressed over the year. You see year after year, day after day, month after month, year after year, week after week, the mental illness has progress. You can see it. I didn't see this much mental illness as I was growing up, right? And you didn't see it. You didn't see it. Get in my comments if you ever saw this. Will you give me a big shout out? Hey, what's up, Hanson? What's up? How you doing? Yes. They got your big shout out right there. How you doing? You are worried about a shout out, and the man is trying to give us some real words. Don't worry about that, David. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. So now, this mental illness is the same. See, see, they're not going to tell you that this mental illness is part of an activation of zombie because these people that's doing this murder, death, kill upon themselves and others, this is zombie mode. They don't realize what they're doing because they are under the influence of this mental illness. And then you are taking medication, and then the synthetic weed right there, it plays a major part, and a lot of people don't understand it. I'm white, and you are spitting image of my cousin. It's okay, brother. It's okay. It doesn't matter if you white, you black, you Spanish. All of us suffer with the same thing in our communities, our societies, all around the world. You have to understand that this mental illness has progress. I never seen this mental illness and all of these traits of different mental illness I never heard of none of these phrases where this came, these scientific terminology of these phrases of mental illness. It's different mental illness. It's different. And it's affecting the whole entire nation, right? Pretty much we're not gonna have nobody working. Pretty much we're not gonna have nobody to protect the country. Pretty much it's just that's it. It's gonna be a nation full of zombies, of this mental illness, a murder, death, kill, barbaric, evil, twisted way of life. Do you understand what's going on? So let me get into this video right now and show you basically what I'm talking about. And it's sad, man. It's sad. At least somebody talked up about this. But you knew this all too well what was going down. You knew this.
And these are a broad category. The ones that Marty mentioned, like ADHD, the neurological disorders, ADD, ADHD, speech delay, language delay, tics, Tourette syndrome, narcolepsy, ASD, autism. All of these are injuries that I never heard of when I was a kid. They were not part of the nomenclature. They weren't part of the dialogue. There was zero spent in this country treating chronic disease when my uncle was president. Today it's about $1.8 trillion annually. It's bankrupting our nation. 74% of American kids do not qualify for military service. So how are we going to maintain our global leadership with such a sick population? We have all these autoimmune diseases, these exotic diseases. Again, I never heard of juvenile diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Crohn's disease, and 100 others that were just unknown when I was a kid. And
This was co-created. This was co-created. I don't know if he's doing this for show or he really don't know or he really don't have the information. He's not in the loop. So for him to be bringing this forefront and to be talking about this thing amongst us, that I've been talking about mental illness. I've been talking about that this was co-created for population control. You already said 75% of the population of the United States is has mental illness, means zombie mode. They don't know what they're doing. They do these acts of violence, shooting and killing themselves. People throwing themselves in the train tracks. People are doing weird stuff. This is weird. This is why I said in 2025 that this year is going to be a great, bring a great benefit of what of guidance. It is also going to be what we now all of these things that's inadequate for us to live as people, as a nation, as a community. This is no joke, man. I've been talking about mental illness, and this is promoting drugs, new drugs, right? To be promoted. Won't you create all these mental disabilities and mental illness? You're gonna have to procreate some type of drugs to suppress this mental illness of you having thoughts and understandings and images of people following you, schizophrenia, you know, I mean, all this type of stuff, man. This is dangerous. This was procreated. This was procreated. This came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, everybody got this. 75% of Americans that live in this country have mental illness. This is crazy. So you know they got an antidote. They got an antidote to get the minds back on the right track. But once these chemical into the sides of your brain, and once these activate certain cells that's in your brain, they could become damaged for the rest of your lives. And you will have images. You will have to stay on this medication for the rest of your life. Because if you don't, you're gonna harm yourself or you're gonna harm others. This is why it's a big campaign for me on my platform to talk about mental illness and talk about all this weird stuff that's going on and all of this procreation by what? By the powers that be. This is your responsibility. You procreated this upon the people, upon the nation, upon the community, upon society. Now that being that you did this, right? And you're talking about money, but what about the mental? What about the brain that is damaged? And that this very These very illness passes on to the genes. You can pass this on into the genes. Your children can pass this on. They're not talking about that. And then we're gonna have a nation and communities and societies of zombies, of individuals that don't know what they're doing. They don't know right from wrong. Do you understand that? This is serious, man. And I need for you to think about this and talk about this. That is really, really what is really, really important that we get this information out, that we share and like this information because a lot of people's not talking about this on major platforms. They talking about everything else. They talking about twerking. They talking about getting the bag. They talking about all these celebrity gossip that's going on, that's procreated, that's distracting us from real life situations that's happening in our communities each and every day, and that we have to suffer with. You have regular people that's going to work 9 to 5, going on the train, going on the buses. They driving. People's crashing into them. People's throwing them into the tracks. People's attacking them and stabbing them, spitting on them. Random. This is random because they have mental issues. They think about images of killing people. Something is being activated inside of them. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? So this is serious. This is serious. But it was procreated. You procreated. And it seems like this gentleman is out of tune, right? He's out of tune. He's not in touch. He's out of the loop. And he's bringing this all to the nation. Now he's telling the people that did this that we got to deactivate this program. So how he said the number of people. He said 75% of people that live in this country is suffering with mental illness. That number is outrageous. 75 people, 75% of people, and that means black, white, Spanish, people all over is suffering with this. It's not this one no particular that's group, but it's focusing on our communities, right? It's focusing on our communities, our societies, and it's really, really potent in poor neighborhoods that don't have the resources to fight against this. You, under, you understand where I'm coming from? This is where it's concentrated at. So now you fighting mental illness. Now you fighting drugs. Now you fighting gun violence. Now you fighting gang violence. Now you fighting everything to add on to your stress and traumas. Do you see? Do you see where I'm going with this? It's a battlefield. It is physically, mentally, spiritually. This is what's going on, and this is why we got to get this message out to any everybody. Spread it, spread it, spread it, so we can do something about it. We can do something about it. Yo, portrayed this and put this upon the citizens. You portrayed this. This is actual true facts. Come on, let's watch that one more time. Let's watch that video one more time. I want to watch that one more time. And this is sad, man. This is sad that this is upon us, man. It is very bad. And he's like, yo, we gotta stop this. He's talking about money. Forget the money. What about the mind, body, and soul of the young children that cannot lead the force of the next civilization? This is why they got these robots and these computers in the digital world to replace people, to replace individuals. They got these robots and everything else that's going to replace the people because you got too many people that have mental illness. They cannot perform the job. They cannot perform the duty. So you're going to need something to keep things going. Do you understand that? And these robots and this digital world, the cyber world, is doing what? Replacing the people. This is what I'm talking about, man. And it's sad. It's a very sad situation, man. It's very sad.
And these are a broad category, the ones that Marty mentioned, like ADHD, the neurological disorders, ADD, ADHD, speech delay, language delay, tics, Tourette syndrome, narcolepsy, ASD, autism. All of these are injuries that I never heard of when I was a kid. They were not part of the nomenclature.
This is not
They
injury.
weren't part of the dialogue. There was zero spent in this country
This is not injury.
treating chronic disease when my uncle was president. Today it's about $1.8 trillion annually. It's bankrupting our nation. 74% of American kids cannot qualify for military service. So how are we going to maintain our global leadership?
This is a chemical, biological warfare upon the citizens in our country, upon the citizens, upon our country. This is a chemical, biological warfare that attacks the what? That attacks the mind and brains. That attacks the mind and brains and create illness in our children. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. Will it stop? I don't know. But what my voice and what my platform and you sharing, liking, and getting this information out, hopefully it could put a dent into this lifestyle, into what? Into this illness that is what? That is the minds of our children and our loved ones and people in our society. This is serious, man. This is serious, something to think about. This is something to think about. And everybody, they doing this for the bad. They said this is bankrupting the country. Well, who portrayed this? Who activated this? Someone had to activate it. This is a biological chemical warfare upon the people, upon your mind, body, and soul. So we have to recognize this. Series want to see your mushroom. Thank you so much, Ren, that you like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much that you like, share, subscribe because over here, my channel is being overshadowed by a lot of channels, right? That talks about celebrity gossip. So we up against this. They don't talk about topics like this because topics like this is waking up the masses of people, and we got to do something about this because we are human beings. Majority of this country has mental illness. This is outrageous. Do you understand it? And becoming zombies. You are a zombie. This is what it is. You are a zombie. You are a functioning, walking zombie because you know not what you do. So I just want to drop some jewels on you and talk about mental illness. And this was procreated. This is not injuries that came upon the people. This was procreated upon the people by chemical biological warfare upon the people and all people. Population control. Then it concentrate in poor neighborhoods. This is where it concentrated at. You can't think. You can't focus. You can't get right. And this is what's going on. So I appreciate that everyone that logged on, everyone supporting me. I really, really appreciate it. Take this advice and take this information and spread it. Right? This is the dopest channel out right on YouTube. Thank you so much. Keep your eyes open and your head on swivel. It's murder, death, kill going on here. Not just physically, right? But mentally and spiritually. It's murder, death, kill. Live the life, lead the life. Ain't no thing. I'm married to the game and the game is married to me. It cloak yourself with your lower desire, right? Of fame, fortune, and riches. It's not going to tell you that it's going to backdoor you at the end of the day. And that you might end up in these plantations, right? Hit with 10, 15, 30 years of your life walking around the yard with state greens on. This is actually true facts. Live the life, live the life. Ain't no thing. I'm married to the game and the game is married to me. And cloak yourself with the lower desire, fame, fortune, and riches. That's right. It's to get your soul and you become an organ donor. This is all big facts. So we have to understand this. We have to use our intelligence, our mind, and we also have to put the alpha omega first. That's an example. When you don't put the alpha omega first, these things happen. When you subtract the alpha omega that created everything in existence, this will happen when you rely on this barbaric, evil, twisted, demonic way of life, devil, demon, which is leading us down a dark path of human beings. This entity is the op, is the op, is the op. Do you understand that? You can't see with the eyes. You can only see the effects. So get aboard, come with me, Get in tune with this platform right here, and so we can fight together. I'm coming with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and spiritual understanding from a spiritual eye. This is all big facts. Please don't forget the notification bell. Hit it, 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 so you can know I'm dropping bangers and heat for you and I. Peace, 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 peace.